Wicked Phoenix here from CLN, and there seems to be a shootout in Georgetown. I believe this is over the warrant search of Dan, the known terrorist who was arrested earlier for attacks that he done earlier this week on the island. Right now there's a shootout going on between Dan's associates and the police. I'm trying to keep safe and out of harm's way, but it's getting very difficult because the shots seem to be coming from everywhere. Seems like we're getting closer to the shots. Oh god, black Escalade. There's one of the people attacking. One of the gang members are attacking. Oh god. These must be Dan's associates going in to free Dan. Is that police? Who is this? Is that an officer chasing someone?
I was going to get my pistol license.
Okay, well, why did you fire at police officers then?
Because I didn't know who was who, honestly.
So, why did you fire at police officers?
But I fired at police officers.
You killed 2 police officers knowingly. After being told to drop the weapon by police department. You know exactly what you've done. All the officers in question are now back alive and have it on video evidence. So if you'd like to argue this case, we can do. In the meantime, you're now under arrest.
Alright.
Hello, CLN.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm just trying to keep safe. You guys are doing a fine job.
Thank you very much. I've got 1 suspect in custody heading back to the ETU car.
It seems like one of Dan's colleagues have been arrested. What is to happen with Dan right now, we do not know yet.
You guys are fucking armored and shit.
Oh yeah, he chose the wrong day to pick a fight.
You still have my clothes and stuff though, right?
Can I ask a quick question? Is Dan currently on the run?
No, he's not. He's in safe custody.
Okie doke. So it seems they do still have Dan in custody. Seems to be a fire ahead of a blown up vehicle. Is that a police vehicle that's been blown up?
I think he's just a car bomb, or he just drove fucking headlong into that.
Well, this is a bit of a mess.
NATO to PD. Yeah, I've got an officer down at 050098. Yeah, received. I'll secure his bag for now until you guys get here.
Police officer is down. There's actually 2 officers in here. Oh. Oh wait.
Yep, I'm a suspect.
Never mind, there's a suspect in here.
Police brutality.
The car got bugged, but you can't call police brutality for a bug. Vehicle got bugged.
No!
So the suspect is still
Yes.
safe inside the vehicle.
Oh, well, never mind.
Sir, can you answer me a question? How do you feel
Yeah.
your attackers went on today? Do you think you were successful?
No comment.
You do realise you're going to be doing a lot of time? Was it worth it?
No comment.
Will you attempt to do anything like this again?
Sir,
No comment.
we need to ask you to leave the area for the time being.
Okie doke.
Thank you. We understand why you're here, but obviously it's a crime scene at the moment. We can't have you right next to the vehicle.
That's no problem. I'll whip out this NATO vehicle. What the hell? Are you protesting?
Fuck the police! Fuck the police! Yes, I am, sir.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
question?
Yes, sir.
Why are you protesting today?
These men have threatened my life for nearly being in their presence. I
Sir?
offer no threat. Sir, fuck you.
I explained that, sir. There was a miscommunication between me and my officers. I
Why would you
apologise for that.
threaten us just for being in
No.
your presence? Do you think you're that good at,
No.
you think you're that much of gods, huh?
The order I give was anybody armed would be shot, sir. That was the
I was
order I
told
gave.
point blank,
Yes.
anybody.
Yes, I have. Don't worry, I have had a word with my officers about that. As I've told them, we may be in code critical, but that still does not give us the right to shoot at unarmed civilians.
Exactly.
I won't even allow warning shots if you're unarmed. Okay, you are perfectly welcome to come to PD. Okay, as long as you're not armed. At the minute, we've just been doing an operation, and we were
Really?
ambushed, and a lot of officers were injured.
Yes, I heard
Hence
about
why,
that.
hence why we've gone to code critical.
I understand tensions are high, but you really should have, check what your employees post
Yes, I know.
before they
And
before they do
have,
so.
I did have a word with them once I realised that message had gone out.
Maybe like have a verification. They send it to you and then you send it.
Yes.
So there should
Yes.
be some more check before they threaten random civilians.
The situation is, the island is currently code critical, okay? So that means any armed civilian will be shot while warning. Any unarmed civ will be asked to leave an area if we believe their safety is at risk, okay? And obviously if they fail to comply, then that will bring issues.
Alright.
Okay? But as long as you're unarmed, you're more welcome to come in and report crimes and stuff like that if you do wish so.
Because I was just driving by. I see that. I see your officers pointing at me. I get scared shitless.
I totally understand that, sir, because we are quite important in a minute with the gear we've got on. 2 seconds, I'm busy with a
Very
civilian.
much so. Alright, sir. Well, it seems we have a little misunderstanding here.
So that's what it's been. Like I say, I have had a word with my officers about the message they sent out because it was completely wrong.
Alright. I can
So-
understand that. No one's perfect. But I just
Yeah.
saw that, and I went and got the sign immediately. I was just like, fuck that.
I don't blame you. I would have done the same.
Alright, man. Well, I appreciate that.
Not a problem, sir.
And, have a good evening, then.
You too, sir.
Did you hear it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
What was that for?
That was, like, really fucking close.
Who was shooting?
It looked like it was the gentleman on the roof.
Why? You misfire once more, man, you're gonna be in a world of shit.
Jesus. Maybe I should be protesting your fucking weapons handling. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
The thing is obviously with Operation 1, it required us to be heavily armoured, and some of these guys aren't used to how light the triggers are.
Got some good
Not used to the big rifles, I understand.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, maybe you shouldn't have them pointing at people then. Just, keep it down unless they need to or something.
Yeah, that's what they should
The
be doing.
trained professionals can be the ones to actually stay there.
The guys on the top, they are highly trained, but obviously they're not used to the current rifles because the rifles that they've got only come out in hostile situations.
Alright.
The triggers are a lot lighter than with standard weapons.
So we are now back at Georgetown, where the warrant search will now be going underway. Earlier, it was not possible for the warrant to be proceeded with due to a recent attempt at freeing the suspect. Dan is now being removed from the armed ETU vehicle, where he'll be taken to his home, and it will be searched for any more explosives.
Walk up the stairs.
Temple, thank you.
Not any illegal items.
Key still there.
Let's hope so, yeah.
Do you mind removing my cuffs?
One's upstairs.
Alright.
Is armed.
Alright. So, where did I put the key? Still up there? Oh, now I need to my cuffs removed. Like, I can't reach up there without, you know, being uncuffed.
Excuse me, CLN. 10-4 bearing?
Keep
you mind?
Stuck.
Yeah, it's Zachary. I've got eyes on.
Hands up, hands.
What the fuck?
Suspect inside, suspect inside, suspect inside.
CLN, please. Thank you.
Suspect cough inside the building.
Click.
Clear. Room clear.
Clear.
Hey guys, keep us covered. Commence.
Seems they have found another suspect in the house.
Dan is walking away, guys. Dan is walking away.
Dan, stop.
It was worth a try, alright? It was worth a try. I'm just saying, it was worth
Back
a try.
upstairs and unlock the house.
What's your name, sir? Nanya?
Nice try, Dan. Come on.
Placing the table.
Yeah.
I think there was another attempt to free the suspect,
Worth a try.
but again has
It was
failed.
definitely worth a try, I'll give you that.
Oh man. Only you guys didn't open the.
Do you mind? Whoa, this is happening, huh? Alright.
Ready to put him back in cuffs?
Oops. Alright, hang on. Alright, enjoy yourself.
Alright, Mr. Zerotoxin's bag was empty.
Holy fucking shit.
It appears the officers have found what they were looking
Have
for.
we got a death penalty?
Get
What?
down back in the Ifrit.
Yeah, I'm going to the Ifrit. Jesus Christ.
Sir, please leave the house. It is highly unsafe.
Sorry, I'm leaving.
Guys, we need a cordon. We need a cordon. We need a cordon of 500 meters.
Seems like the building's being cordoned.
Oh my god.
CLPD leave the area?
Hang on. There we go.
Keep
CLPD
eyes
leave
on
the
it.
area?
We need a co- we
You
need
mean
a cordon,
CLN?
500 meters. This thing is fucking jam-packed.
Hopefully get to talk to you soon, Dan.
Yeah, we will talk soon.
Dan is inside the car.
Zero, what the fuck? No shit.
You're not going to the trunk.
So the police have found enough evidence to convict Dan of more terrorist acts and crimes. Enough evidence in the building may subject Dan, the known terrorist, to the death penalty. Right now the police are coroning off the building and securing the area, as civilians gather round gaining interest on what is going on here in Georgetown. More news to come. From CLN, stay tuned.
Wouldn't be fucking cleaning up.
The coroning off of the street is now underway. Police are now gathering evidence in the Dan's house. Appears there is a civilian over there playing music in his vehicle, observing. Maybe I can get some questions from the officers.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's fucking loaded, mate. That's 10 car bombs.
Why is this vehicle unlocked?
North
Wicked.
end is blocked off.
2.1 million cash if you jump in and drop us away.
Yeah, ignore.
2.1 million cash. $1 bills.
But-
Unmarked. Please.
But my
Guys,
but my
keep on
CNN
it, 'cause it didn't
status.
come here unlocked.
I beg you.
Never.
Please. No one will ever find out.
I don't think I can do that.
Wicked. Please. You're my last chance. I'm not.
You said you were gonna kill me.
I will pay you like a god. All right. I will be in debt forever. Please.
Zachary is on the north end protesting with a "fuck the police" sign. That's it.
That's fine.
Dan and his colleague have been successfully transferred back to the police station, where evidence would be investigated. And
Yeah, we're all back.
if things go the way they do, Dan will face
Be honest with you,
execution.
Closing
I
gate.
was expecting Dan to get broke out to make it more fun.
More news to come. So Dan, you have had your house searched earlier, as I was there on scene. You had multiple failed escape attempts, yet you still claim that you will not face death charges. Why is that?
No, I know that I'm a dead man. Like, this is the end.
So, what are your last words to this island?
You will hear them once I'm, next to the chair.
Do you, are you concerned for your fellow members?
No, they will be able to take care of themselves.
They seem very sure that you won't face the chair. It seems like they might have another trick up
Oh,
their sleeve.
they're mistaken. Yeah, I am. Like, there's no way around it anymore.
So that means you already know what you're going to be pleading in court then?
I know that doesn't matter what I say, what I do, or what would happen, I'm still going to get the chair. There's no way around it anymore.
Are you scared?
Nope. I knew this was going to happen. Eventually. I'm alright with that. You're gonna miss me. All of you. Especially you. In the future, you're gonna, make news videos or live footages about people that had, I don't know, maybe a bag of heroin on him or something like that. You will probably not report about terrorist attacks ever again. You're gonna miss me. The CLPD is going to miss me. The people of Tanoa are going to miss me.
But with you gone, it's going to be a much safer place.
Well, as I said multiple times by now, no one. I haven't killed anyone. There has been attempted murders, but that is just the way they charge me. I was intentionally trying not to kill anyone.
You claim you weren't trying to kill anybody.
Not intentionally. No. Dangerous. Yeah. Not safe. True. But I could have killed people if I wanted people to, to die. That is not that hard. I mean, look at these people, especially the one right behind you. That guy, right? Like that officer. I had him in my sights so many times. It is kind of funny.
No one has to shoot me because I'm the nice one.
Yeah, or that one, with a weird haircut. I mean, he looks like an idiot, but he could have died so many times, and he's acting like a tough guy right now. Like, oh yeah, we got you, Dan, ha ha ha. But actually, the reason why he lives is because I allowed him to. Okay. It is that simple. He lives because I wanted him to live.
I'm actually
live
kind of
because I
wondering
want you
why
to
you're
live.
in a cage, like an actual cage. Not in a
Well,
cell. You're in a cage.
Apparently,
Dangerous.
I'm a dangerous person, right? Like, it's for
It's a psychopath.
my own safety and for everyone else's safety, right? Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh my god.
Well, I thank you for your time, and I look forward to this court hearing. Either way, where the decision is, I wish the best for you.
No, you don't. Stop lying.
Dang it.
Okay. Take care now.
Shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, well, maybe seated. And can you all please remove any headwear, you know, glasses, any face masks, anything along them lines as well.
I see. I see
Right,
Walker.
if you bring in the accused, please.
Could you bring in the inmate to the little room I showed you? First off, Your Honour, I'd like to thank you for coming in such short notice.
Problem. Basically, just this is how it's going to work. The prosecution, which in this case is CLPD, led by Commander Majority, is going to do an opening statement. This is just an opening statement. It's not for cross-examination. Then the defendant, Mr. Dan, will get to do an opening statement. After that, the CLPD will present its evidence. As Dan is going to be representing himself, he can then cross-examine. After that, Dan will present his evidence, if he has any, and then CLPD can cross-examine. Once that's been done, basically I shall deliberate for, 5 or 10 minutes, and a decision will be made. Everyone clear on that?
Yep.
Clear on that,
Yep.
Mr. Dan?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you can step up to the bench, Mr. Geordie, and start with your opening statement.
Left or right? This one.
You're right.
Hello, as the judge already said, I am Commander Majority of the CLPD, and we are here today to request a death penalty for Mr. Dan. Mr. Dan has been a known terrorist on the island for a while now. We eventually managed to bring him down and get him into custody, and we currently executed a semi-successful search warrant, and that is what has led we here today. Dan is a highly dangerous man on the island. To do with terrorist activities, and basically that is the reason we're all seated here today. That is all, Your Honour.
Your Honor, Dan is a very nice guy. Permission to speak first.
Mr. Dan, if you'd like, got any opening statement to make?
Down.
Well, probably some of you know me. My name is Dan, and I'm a terrorist, as again most of you know by now. And today my search warrant has been executed, and they found a lot of illegal items at my house, which led the commander to request the death penalty for me, which I personally do not agree with, because even though I might be a terrorist, I feel like that people, or especially the judge and the commander, should respect and give me credit for the fact that I did not kill anyone. That might have been, like, I've been charged with attempted murder, but that is just a procedure. There have been explosions. Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm, compared to most of you here, I'm not a good person. But actually requesting the death penalty for someone that has not killed anyone, that is wrong in my opinion. There are so many more people on the island that actually have killed people and got away with just a short jail sentence, and me getting the chair is not okay in my opinion. I just do not agree with this, hence why we are here today. That is it, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, Mr. Geordie, if you'd like to now start with presenting your evidence.
Okay, over the last year, I say Dan has been arrested multiple times. Most recently was on the 24th of 12th, 2016. He was arrested for kidnapping. On the 19th of the 1st, 2017. He was then again arrested for accessory to murder. And the most recent one, which was the 25th of the 1st, 2017, he was arrested for explosives. And it was this latest charge of explosives that led us requesting a search warrant, which was approved by the courts. Upon this search, we found in the first house we went to, we found an awful lot of highly explosive items, a total of 30 different explosives and a further 25 illegal items. Now obviously, with everything else in mind, yes, Dan has actually only ever committed one murder that he's been charged with. A lot of them, most of it has been attempted. But again, he's been caught with multiple illegal weapons, items, and he's just a danger to the island. Hence why, after today's search, is why we have come to get the death penalty.
Got any reply to that, Mr. Dunn?
Yes, I would love for the commander to elaborate on the one murder I have been charged with, if he would be so kind.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this was on the 7th of the 3rd, 2016.
Wait, what?
The 7th of the 3rd, 2016.
Wait, what?
The charges brought against him was 2 times murder. Breakdown of what happened. The officers involved attempted a sting operation at the factory. After an officer had gathered intel,
May I just interrupt you right there?
Yeah.
This was not on this island. If
Can I have
I'm
the
not
date
wrong,
can I have the date
this
of that
was
again?
on Altus.
The date
If I'm not
was
wrong.
the 7th of the 3rd, 2016.
Yes. I'm gonna not allow that as evidence. When it comes to executions, it's basically any crimes committed within the last month, so basically the last 4 weeks.
Okay, well, obviously then that puts out the murder charge there then. The most recent crimes was within the last month was the 19th of the 1st, 2017. And there's the charges on here was 1 times accessory to attempted murder, 1 times aiding and abetting, 1 times explosives, and 1 times failure to stop.
Again, I can see why I'm being, why the death penalty has been requested. I can see why, but I want you all, everyone here that attended the court today, to actually think about, am I really a bad guy? The reason for why I did what I did was because I exposed corruption within the CLPD, and I'm trying to make Tanoa great again and free. And I tried my best, and while doing so, I put my own life in risk, and I tried not to kill anyone at all. I might have been a danger, but all I did was for this island, alright? And again, I could have killed multiple people if I wanted to. I could have. I had so many options, but I always tried not to. Because I don't want to be that guy killing people. I'm not that guy. So, and again, I want to remind you guys of the fact that there are a lot of people out there that actually murdered people, that get charged with murder, and they do a short-term sentence in jail. That is it. And here I am, like here we are all today, the CLPD requesting the death penalty for me, someone that actually hasn't killed anyone.
That's not entirely true.
Well, at least, not on this island.
Including the attempted search warrant today, was there any injuries or damage or any property loss during that?
On today's operation, we actually had to attempt the search twice. On the first attempt, we were actually ambushed and officers did take heavy damage, and some of them were
Again,
needing medical
I want
treatment.
to point out I had nothing to do with that at all, and the person that is responsible for that is in jail and admitted to the fact that it was his idea and that I had nothing to do with that. So the ambush at the search warrant was not me.
Yeah. Hence why no charges for that were actually brought against you.
I just want to point out, I want everyone here to have a clear picture of who I am, on what I did, and why I did what I did. I'm good at what I do, and I personally do enjoy it.
That
so
is
again,
company's neurotoxins.
Isn't he a member of your organisation, the TLF?
Exactly, he is, and we both follow that goal to, expose the corruption within the CLPD and make this island free again. His actions today, I don't stand behind them. It was him just trying to free me. I was in jail the time he planned this. I had no way of communicating with him, and again, he admitted to doing so. So again, the only reason why I'm arguing here is so that everyone here understands who I am and what I did and why I did what I did. Because if they then approve the death penalty for me, I want you guys to understand that someone gets executed for not actually killing someone. Again, compared to all of you, I'm a bad guy. I can see that. But am I really worth being executed for this? I didn't understand having jail time.
Does not have to be murders. It's basically heinous crimes.
I know. I'm aware of that. I'm totally aware.
As I say, looking at your record, with not including the search warrant requests, which I would have done you for association with personally myself, you're looking at 14 attempted murders. This is in the last month. Multiple counts of explosives, multiple counts of terrorism, multiple counts of illegal items, multiple counts of basically weapons trafficking, illegal weapons.
I've never been charged for weapons trafficking. I want to point that one out as well. I understand. I am not saying that, no one should be executed for not committing murders, but just looking at the greater picture here, I am not the worst person you will ever meet. People on this island that actually kill officers or other civilians, EMTs, the people that try to save people, those should be executed and not me. And I'm aware that it will, the way the judge is talking to me and what he's saying, it sounds like that I will definitely, that this death penalty will be approved. So I just want to, paint a picture for all of you here of who I am and why I did what I did. I don't have great expectations here, so.
Mr. Jordan, have you got any more evidence to add?
Is it just the charges that led up to this search warrant and the items found on the search warrant? He was obviously I believe he was planning more terrorist activities with the amount of explosives found in his house.
And for the record, what was found
yes.
in the search warrant?
Where would I get that the list for you? Okay, during the current search warrant, his house contained explosive Ys, 7 pipe bombs, 2 timed car bombs, 5 remote car bombs, 9 C4, 3 claymores, 2 M6 slam mines, and 2 AP ERS bounding mines. That was just the explosives.
What was your purpose for having that amount of explosives?
Committing more terrorist attacks. Again, I'm not trying to hide who I am. I have always been clear about my intentions. I have never tried to, hide that at all. And I knew when the search warrant was going to happen that they would find that. And I was cooperating the whole way. I did not try to pull anything or whatever. So, yeah. And yes, they were, were going to be used for more terrorist attacks.
they've been far better served. So the legal route and diplomacy, maybe even run for senator instead of killing innocent civilians. And I've just realised that one of the murders that he did commit in this last month was on an innocent member of the CLN team.
Excuse me?
On your propaganda video for your organisation, facial recognition, we sent that to the lab, and it come back as a positive match for yourself.
I have no comments about that.
If you've not got no more evidence to add, Mr. Geordie, you can be seated if you wish.
Thank you.
You got any evidence to present at all?
The evidence I can present are all the officers and people within this room still alive because I allowed them to be alive. That is the only evidence I'm going to present. I could have killed any of you, all of you, if I wanted to. Had you in my sights more than once, and you're still breathing, you will be able to go back to your families tonight, still breathing and still alive. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
We'll move on to the closing statements. Mr. Geordie, if you've got a closing statement prepared, feel free.
Yeah, as I say, the death penalty is not something the CLPD request lightly, but there is, in this instance, I believe it is a justified request, as he's openly admitted to the court that he had them aims to commit multiple more terrorist activities. He claims to be a freedom fighter, but with that amount of explosives and the way his organisation runs, they're more of a military group than freedom fighters. So I think hopefully this will send a message out to anybody else out there that thinks they could follow in his footsteps, that if we catch you, you'll end up in the same situation Dan is in now. That is all.
Okay, before I adjourn this court and take some time to deliberate, have you got anything to say in closing, Dan?
Not really. I would probably just repeat myself, saying what I've already said. I know that there is no jury here, so I would have to convince you that it's not worth actually executing me, but I feel like there is no point in that. So all I wanted to do here is to convince everyone that is here right now knows that my intention was never to kill anyone, and that I did what I did for Tanoa. I'm alright if I get executed. I'm okay with that. It is the way it is. But that is no justice. That is it, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's say court is adjourned for 5 minutes, where I just go and look over the evidence and deliberate. Feel free to go take a break for 5 minutes.
Officers, take him back to the cell, please. Just so for the civilians in here, you can't go outside and have a cigarette, but you will be searched upon coming in, so the choice is yours.
Oh, I gotta go take a shit.
Excuse me? Can I pass?
Geordie, could I talk with you about today's hearing? Brilliant.
Where do you want to do it?
I'll just do it out here, I guess. That way it'll be fine. Okay, so how do you feel today's court hearing went?
I believe it went quite well. Obviously the evidence are presented, and the judge also has access to the computers on these occasions. I believe it went well, and I believe the decision the judge will make will be the right one.
So how did the whole operation go today? Because throughout the day it seemed to be very busy. The officers seemed to be very under pressure. there seemed to be just a lot of things going on. So could you break down exactly what happened that led up to Dan being in court today?
Okay, so basically what happened is a few days ago Mr. Dan was caught with a lot of items on him and a lot of charges against him. This led to us requesting a search warrant. Now, when we request a search warrant, we get 24 hours to conduct the search warrant. The reason people were under pressure today is because that time was getting close to being ended, and obviously we needed to get it done. So once Mr. Dan woke up, we got a phone call from the Max Pen at the main jail saying Mr. Dan's awake. So we headed up, we picked him up. Upon arrival at one of his houses, we were ambushed, which we later found out was by a guy in his organisation, who had organised it. Obviously, no charges were brought against Dan for this because we could not prove he had anything to do with it. Upon searching his house, as you heard in the courtroom there, we did find a lot of explosives. So hence why we are here today. They say we don't request the death penalty for every other single little crime because it's a serious sentence. You know, the guy is going to go, possibly going to get his life ended. But because of the crimes he's committed, I had no other choice to then request the death penalty. Now, Mr. Dan did attempt to string up a deal, and it was an interesting deal. I weighed the pros and cons of this deal, and unfortunately there was far too many cons against it, hence why we're in the courtroom now.
So now that you have Dan,
Do I need to put my hands
obviously
up?
he's going to be facing a sentence either way. There's no way he's going to be walking free, death penalty or not. He's definitely going to be put away for a long time.
Yes,
so
yes.
I was just going to ask, does that mean security is going to be going down from here now, or is it just going to stay the same or even go higher until...
At the minute, the island is currently at the highest threat level it can be at.
Right.
It can't go any higher. It can't go any higher than we're at now. Now, obviously, once this is dealt with, it will lower, but it won't go down to the lowest level just yet, because obviously his organisation aren't going to take this lightly. You know, we've just condemned their leader to death, so they're not going to be happy about that.
So even if Dan is executed, there's probably still going to be a high security alert due to retaliation.
So, yes.
So what message should you what message should you give the civilians today because of the security?
Obviously there is going to be a high security risk, and all I ask is the civilians stay vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the CLPD so we can nip it in the bud before it happens. Obviously, again, a lot of civilians think we're gun happy. We're not gun happy. It's just at times we need to pull out the big guns. We do not like pulling out the big guns. I do not like authorising the use of big guns. But on operations like we've had today, and because of the threat level, I have actually authorised all these guys to carry weapons they're not normally authorised to carry. Now that is not a risk I will take lightly, because if any of these weaponry was to get into the enemy's hands, it's going to play hell for us. So all I ask is, there is a bunch of the freedom fighters out there, and all I can ask the civilians that aren't involved with them, please don't get involved with them, because if you get involved with them, they could find themselves in the same situation.
So were you actually worried today about the court hearing? Like at any time the freedom fighters could have shown up and attempted another freedom on Dan?
Normally I would be, but I believe we have two of the freedom fighters in custody as well as Dan, and I believe one of them is these two IC. We had no further intel of any of these other members being active on the island, but there was still that risk. We had to be careful. Hence why I upped the level to the highest level, so the officers and the civilians were prepared.
Okay, thank you for your time, Majority.
Not a problem, sir.
I wish you the best of luck.
You too, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dan. Basically, the crimes you're being convicted of are of the highest caliber. You represent yourself as, a freedom fighter and a man of the people. But yeah, the way you went about it is, completely unacceptable. There's ways and means, if there's, as you call it, corruption in CLPD, to uncover that corruption and get it fixed, through diplomatic means, not by committing acts of terrorism, by injuring, innocent people. For example, if you look now, you've got PD set on a TIES alert. NATO have been set on a TIES alert and have also redeployed forces from abroad, all because of your terrorist group. So due to the multiple counts of attempted murder and explosives and terrorism, basically, is what you've been committing over the last couple of weeks, you are going to be sentenced to death, which the sentence shall be carried out immediately. So you'll be taken from here to Max Pen, where you'll be given the electric chair.
Got him in cuff.
Court is adjourned. Like I said, we'll make our way to Max Pen.
Okay, Your Honour, before Dan moves, CLN requested to be there and broadcast the execution. Are you okay with that, Your Honour?
I've got no problem with that. As you say, it should be a matter of public record anyway, so yeah, that's fine.
There you go, CLN. So, okay, guys, if you want to make your way up to the main jail,
please.
We'll be there shortly.
Really? Like, where am I supposed to go, huh?
So Dan has been sentenced to execution immediately. So we're going to head over to the prison where his death will take place.
I can walk myself.
We have now arrived at the prison where Dan's execution will take place. Witnesses to the execution will need to wait here until asked to come in by officers who are detaining Dan. Until he is ready for execution and fit ready to be executed, we must remain outside. More to come from CLN. Stay tuned. Prison to witness the execution of Dan.
Can you see the visitors' entrance? Yeah, use the same entrance. Leave them in your car for now. Get all the other civilians in.
Excuse me, back out.
They're in, make sure they're in the room and sitting down. Yeah, once they're in and sat down.
Can you get them and sit down?
Bring the
Please take your headgear off, sir.
again, he stays in cuffs. And you two officers stay in that room at all times.
Will do. Sir, Wicked Phoenix, CLN, you can take your hat off, please.
Yep.
Sorry.
CLN can leave theirs on.
Oh, okay, sorry, you can leave your hat on.
Helps keep the GoPro steady. You don't need your mask on or your helmet on. Okay, Dan, I've allowed your toxins to come.
Alright.
As both you and him requested it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I've allowed it.
Appreciate it.
I'm here, Dan.
0.
Reserve the front seat for you.
If I sit down cuffed, I'll get stuck.
Okay. There you go.
Jesus cuffed.
What the oh dear.
Okay, turn this in. Okay, guys in the room, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, what I ask is, during the processes here today, I ask you to all remain seated at all times. Once the execution is carried out, the AMT will do their work. Once everything is done and dusted, then you will be free to go. Not you, Zero, unless your jail time served by then.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Mr. Dan, could you take a stand next to the chair, please?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan, if you take a position next to the switch. Basically, Dan has waved his right to his last meal, so we'll kind of carry on. Basically, Dan, you've been sentenced to death under Tanoan law. So basically, electricity will pass through your body until you are dead. We will allow you to give a last statement if you wish.
All I gotta say is, all of you, everyone here is gonna miss me. Just wanted to say that.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
Gonna miss you too, buddy.
Miss you already, dude. Who are gonna arrest now?
Keep fighting for the cause, man.
The TLA won't fall. TLF will never fall.
Yeah, you can have that chair as well.
Take a seat, then.
Are you ready, Commander?
I'm ready.
Of course you are. You waited for this way too long, didn't you?
It's been a long time coming. It's been a hell of a ride.
Alright. Here we go.
Mr. MT, would you like to do your bit?
He's alive.
It was his officer standing behind us.
Okay, that's a successful revive. So, under the laws, Dan shall now be taken to Max Pen with a 10-hour jail sentence placed upon him.
Officer behind me, could you do that, please?
I hate all of you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the execution. Upon recommendation from the officers that Mr. Zero has been well behaved, he will be transported back to main HQ and then released.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I am kind of stuck in the chair.
It's right, if the guys pick you up, they'll be able to get you out. So if you guys can pick him up and take him back to PD, then do the relevant paperwork.
Yeah, I got him.
You get the chair, and then...
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, AFC.
Really awesome.
I don't want to. What are you going to ask?
The problem is that we did it so fast now is, first of all,
wow.
right? Like it is.
What the hell?
And
so blame shit right there.
Okay. So with the good revive, he gets still 10 hours in jail.
If you sit in it, it will.
Okay.
Still serves 10 hours in jail. If it's a hospital one and we catch him, it's a 10-hour sentence.
Okay.
If it's a failed revive, he's free to go.
Oh shit. Yeah, that sucks. That was.
Dan has been sentenced to death. He was executed. He has survived his execution and must now serve a 10-hour sentence to pay for his crimes.
He's like a nuclear.
During the attempted execution, he has lost memory of everything that he knew before in his past life.
Yep.
And must start again with his new one. From CLN and Wicked Phoenix, signing off.